here.
This one's having, well,
Yeah,
that's
but
okay.
last-
As long as you up there. Yeah, are we ready? Oh, no.
What do we need for a quorum? 3?
4.
Do we need 4?
Yeah.
Phil's not coming.
Did Phil tell you? He told me, but he thought he was coming.
What about Charbel?
I haven't heard
We didn't
anything.
hear anything from more Chelsea.
It's a big, Chelsea, and it's a big, I guess it's a week, like a, oh, I thought that was her. It's a big vacation time, I guess.
Is it August?
Yeah. Which maybe you don't know. What is going on with this, with that house right there on Third Street? It's like, I can't believe it didn't sell already.
I don't know. It's like a
Is there no
sleeper.
parking?
There's no parking as part of it, but it's a sleeper.
Oh, my God.
Let's see,
Who used to own that? Like a judge used to own that?
Well, Antonio Griffo owns it right
That's
now.
it. 'Cause he still
Yeah, she
owns
still
it.
owns it, yeah.
She doesn't live in it, does she?
Her son lives upstairs. She moved back to College Hill.
Her son moving out, or is he gonna rent?
He'll move up to her house. She's hardly any town. She's in LBI for the summer. She just bought a place in Florida.
Oh, she's going.
And
Smart.
she's got a place on College Hill. And then she's got this.
Small place in College Hill?
Clay,
Not too bad.
what's our protocol if we don't quorum? What do you think?
Oh, my
We
God.
could see if we could reach someone on phone. See if we could reach Chelsea or Charbel on phone. And we can have a phone proxy.
I called in once during COVID.
And
I know.
James hasn't.
And I
been-
voted. I mean, I listened to
James
vote.
hasn't been approved yet?
I guess not.
Let's bring him up and find out, because
Yeah.
we can baptize him immediately.
See if the mayor's in there. Say, swear him in.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, as a full-time employee, isn't he already?
Yeah, we are 4 minutes to find somebody. I don't have Chelsea's,
I didn't see anything from her, did you,
No.
Chelsea? She usually lets us know if she's.
Isn't he the sweetest guy, though, Ron?
and the weather might have people.
Ron, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know him from when I went to White Township.
Yeah.
For a couple of years before.
Oh, Charbel's here.
Okay, we're kind.
We're good.
We're good. No panic. No offense. How are you?
No, glad you're here.
Hey, Karen.
I needed you.
Unengaged.
Thank you.
Nice person.
Philly boy.
Get it. Flipping you on. How about the Hoover house? I think the Hoover house is getting some work done.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that's good news. You know, I got contacted by Hopkins. I'm telling you both this. I think this is cool. We're finally trying to corral all the garbage cans on Church Street. Do you ever walk down Church Street?
Turn garbage down? Yeah.
You mean behind your house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where all the garbage is piled up? Yep.
First of all, Quadrant doesn't count. If they could clean that place, oh my God. I want to go over there and say, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
I can do this. I can do this in my sleep. Anyway, the past 2 times this summer, the garbage trucks squeeze the garbage and spews out puke. Like, can you
Oh.
imagine? I'm telling you. So I drove over it, in my garage, and I'm like, oh my God, somebody vomited.
Yeah, that's.
I'm out there with a hose and buckets of bleach. Happened twice.
That's no good.
I
Is it,
don't know what they're gonna do.
who is it?
It's a lot more than you think.
Because I know that Shrin picks up the garbage for Colonial Pizza, and every day they pick up the garbage.
cooking.
They
Not too
squeeze
much.
this.
Yes.
They squeeze this juice.
Yes, that's what I was just talking
And it
about.
runs down the street in front of
Totally.
Clay's house, and then Clay's got to get the hose out.
That's me.
Because it's like
It's
like
funny
this
how
Vomit.
puke
fast
juice.
It is puke juice. By the way, it was.
We had it-
it was
we had
like
our
buckets,
eighth
and
grandchild.
I saw it, but
Named her
then I
Berlin.
drove in my
Little
garage, I
girl.
closed my garage doors,
Over
I
the
started
weekend?
gagging.
Yeah,
Got
last
everything
Thursday.
out.
Yeah,
But it comes,
Twice,
but it
same
comes,
thing.
it's from the Shrin truck.
Yeah, because they're quick.
Or no, not Shrin.
That's your eighth?
Our 8th grandchild.
That is awesome.
I don't know who it is.
Good for you.
They took her down to
Swint.
chop
I don't know
today.
who
She
it
has
is,
some
but
kidney issues.
The one
They knew
for
before
Colonial
the baby was
Swint.
born that there
That's
was something
not,
wrong.
they're.
But every time they
Doctors
crush,
here
Yes,
had
I
they
know,
crush,
that's what
they
I'm
crush
talking
tubes,
about.
yeah.
They did it twice, I'm out there with bleach.
The doctors.
Hosing.
Yeah,
Well, let's let the baby be born.
smells
See
so
what
bad.
happens.
It is, because it's all the grease in it.
and see, they
Everything
pick up the
normal.
garbage on the lower side of Colonial, so
But
it's not going like where the
They took
people
her
sit,
today.
so it's going
I saw
from
my
there
son
down to
Frank in
Clay's
here
house.
said that
Of
they're
course.
gonna take her again Wednesday for a
Because
little bit
I
more
kept
in-depth
saying,
exam they want to do on her.
saying to Ken, she wants to put out.
She's been
her
able to-
seating here. These
she's
people are
home.
gonna,
Yeah,
like,
she-
not
they
sit
think
there
that she'll
long.
probably
Right.
be,
So they want to corral for us.
by her first year,
But
they're gonna have to do like a procedure for
The
her, but
Asian
after
store
she
that's
should be
next
like
to
a
the
normal life.
store,
Yeah.
they had garbage
See,
out
we'll
there
keep our fingers
2
crossed.
months.
We'll be good.
2
Let's get
months.
walking back.
I'm taking pictures, I'm going in. He can't.
Prop is the best place to
If
go if you have a problem.
you don't get this out of here, I'm reporting
I'll be
you.
59
Go.
this year.
Had it, finally, after the second one.
59, that's pretty.
Okay, welcome to the August 10th meeting of the Historic District Commission. Let's start with the roll call.
Diane Hamelin,
Here.
Mario Guariello,
Here.
Charbel Corey,
Here.
Clay Mittman,
Here,
Phil Mittman, absent, Chelsea Morisi, absent, but we have a quorum.
very good. Do we have a motion for the approval of the minutes of the July 13th meeting?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. As far as the HDC process, everyone here has made an application, or everybody who's going to make an application has one in front of us that has been reviewed by a historic consultant. When your time comes for your proposal, you can come up to the front desk. Our historic consultant will read her review of the application. She will add any comments. We will then have a time for comments from the applicant as well as members of the public. And at that point, the commission will make a decision. They have the option of making a decision to either approve, deny, approve with conditions, or table the motion. We are going to start tonight's meeting with 345 to 49 Ferry Street, proposal to install vinyl window signage. Hotel, Hampton Hotel, Inc., Micaiah Piper.
We're here on behalf of her.
Okay, all right, so you can sit right here,
Here.
and then I will read a bunch of things, and then you get to respond.
Thank you.
This structure is a 3-story, semi-detached, mixed-use painted masonry building with a flat roof, projecting cornice, oriel window, 1/1 double-hung windows, and 2 storefronts with black tiled knee walls. The left storefront is the one being reviewed. The building dates from the mid to late 19th century and has mostly Queen Anne details. It is proposed to install vinyl window signage. The sign will read Bittersweet in white lettering. The font is a unique style. Couldn't find a listing for that style. That's okay. And the sign is centered in the storefront window. The sign appears to be about 24 inches wide by 12 inches high. The standards that we would use to judge the project are primarily our local design guidelines on signage and also Standard 9, which states that any exterior alterations should not destroy historic materials that characterize a property. The new work should be compatible with the massing, size, scale, and architectural features to protect the historic integrity of the property and its environment. The proposed vinyl window sign is appropriately scaled and the style of the font appropriate for the shop, the streetscape, and the historic district. If you'd like to add anything, that would be up to you.
You actually did everything perfect, so I don't have to say anything. We're gonna copy basically the left and right and keep it within the same exact sizing that our neighbors did, so it doesn't ruin the facade at all.
Yeah, I mean, what you had mocked up looked very good,
Perfect.
size-wise. You didn't have dimensions on it, but I believe it was about what I said.
Yeah.
Yep, it was,
Yeah.
yeah, it's literally within like 3 inches.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it was like
I can make it perfectly that size,
26
actually.
by- yeah.
26 or 27?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's good.
Are there any questions from the public on this application? Any further questions from commissioners in regard to the application?
I do. I don't have a question about your sign. It is lovely and beautiful. Just tell us about your business. Oh,
Did any of you guys see the line on Saturday behind the marquee?
Yeah.
So that was for our grand opening. We obviously didn't touch the front of the building at all, but, you know, we did pass zoning and everything, so that was really exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. We brought so many people from like 2 or 3 hours away. It was like, I've never seen so many people. I've never been to Easton, and then they knew about the vintage market the next day.
Right.
And then I talked to the girls at the joint, and they said they made the same money as the Bethlehem Music Fest location. And I was like, so yeah.
Sweet.
And the girls over there sent us like little pins in a bag. Like, thank you. It was really cool. So
Oh,
we're just super
It's
excited
nice
to
to
be.
see so many people. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I know Lafayette's losing their mind over our store, so it's really,
I'm happy for you.
it's awesome. Thank
Excited.
you.
Thank you for letting us be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What made you want to come to Easton?
So we actually live on 13th Street,
Good.
and we lived at the Silk Mill for years.
Okay.
And Michaela, the full owner, she actually has a cosmetic tattoo studio, so she does eyebrows for a living.
Mhm.
And she's in technically, I guess, Palmer, by that Redner's up there. And so we've had a business in Easton for like 5 years. So this is the second
Okay.
business.
Well,
So
welcome.
we don't want to leave. We want this to be.
Yeah,
We want to keep
this
growing.
is home
and-
base.
Especially
yeah.
after this weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thank you. It has nothing to do with your application, but we're
yeah.
just curious and we get excited when someone wants to invest in Easton. So I'd like to make a proposal to accept as submitted.
Perfect.
We have a
Thank you
motion,
so
do we have
much.
a second?
Oh, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, welcome.
Congratulations
So much,
and
guys.
welcome.
Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our second application tonight is going to be 109 North Second Street, proposal to replace windows and doors. Looks like Rob Wozniak is presenting for the owners.
And we will see,
You've got a couple in a row, so you're gonna have to just stay
gonna-
right where you are.
I'm gonna try to get comfortable.
yes, dude. Okay, so this is 109 North Second Street. This structure is a 3-story, 2-bay masonry dwelling, formerly part of a row of 4 row homes. But now the end of the row, because the end was demolished,
I think it's fire.
fire. It has a low sloping roof, dentelated cornice, 2nd-story oriel window, and newly constructed concrete stoop and steps with Doric-style columns at the sides of the door. The existing varnished wood front door is historic, and all windows are 1/1. The south facade is clad in aluminum siding. Was that changed?
That's
This-
changed, yeah,
That's been, this has been so many times here, so sorry.
Yeah, it's all
I
stucco
didn't
now.
update that. The building is federal in style and dates from the mid-19th century. And it's proposed to replace windows and doors. 3 front windows would be replaced with Marvin 1/1 aluminum-clad wood windows in Sierra white color. The proposed door replacements, which are 2, are 6-panel smooth fiberglass doors with 2 upper lights. Full-view aluminum storm doors are also proposed. The locations for the doors are not indicated.
They're in the rear of the building.
That's what I hoped.
Yeah, they are.
This,
Fire escape. I ran out of time today because I was planning on taking pictures. I realized I didn't have any pictures of it there, but
Yeah.
but they're part of a fire escape that is no longer. It's a private residence now.
the standards would be 9, as I read before, and also our guidelines on windows and doors. And the proposed aluminum-clad wood windows meet the design guidelines for replacement windows in the historic district if they are sized to fit the exact size of the existing openings, and no historic casing sills, et cetera, are removed or covered with aluminum. I always make a suggestion to use half screens instead of full screens, since the full screens will really conceal the window and the view of the sashes. And the proposed doors would only be appropriate for the rear. The rear is visible from Green Street. Doors, I noticed doors on the 3rd Street and on 2nd was a little hard to see. The smooth 6-panel fiberglass doors would be historically acceptable in these locations.
Any questions from
Audience.
commissioners?
Are you okay with half screens?
I'm fine with it. Mr. McFadden will have to discuss that with him, but I think he should be fine with it too.
Yeah, he's very cooperative.
Is there any reason why they chose to stay with 1/1 versus going with something which might have been original, like 6/6?
I don't have the answer to that.
But they're only doing 3 of the windows, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
And you still have the first, I would assume it's the 3 that are around the oriel window and not the first floor as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they're working little by little on the house, it seems, like gradually.
Yes.
So I would assume they'll come in the future potentially.
It could be,
Who
yeah, it
knows?
could be.
Yeah.
These windows were in response to last winter, and how drafty and cold the old windows were.
Yeah.
So, you know, that we were just kind of, we were actually there doing the front facade work, and he kind of pulled us in and said, "What about these windows?" I said, "All right, well, we'll do something. Whatever." I literally left it a bit up to Mike. So, I mean, I can mention more divided lights. See what he thinks. We're not like necessarily invested in these particular windows. Certainly, I can discuss it with him.
It seems like it makes sense to keep
I
it
mean,
consistent.
Yeah, but we can't
No.
I
Are
agree
you,
with you.
this would
but-
be, either would be appropriate, given
Right.
our ordinance.
Right.
If he would like to take it back in time, eventually then the other windows would need to be done as well.
Yeah.
So
We can leave, it's
Options?
up to him.
we could have it as
Yeah.
either.
Okay, I'll mention it.
Any questions from the public? Do I have a motion on
Mo-
this?
Yeah, motion to approve as submitted.
I'll second it.
Is that including, you can go either way on the windows?
Yes.
Yes.
Divided or
Yep,
plain?
yes.
Okay. We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye,
Motion passes.
got it.
Rob, you can stay right where you are because the next one is 125 Spring Garden Street, proposal to install a new door hood. Catherine Stanch. Is Catherine here as well, or just you?
Just me.
Just you, okay.
A little background on this is that I believe but maybe it was the redevelopment authority or somebody was here for the hood that was started, but was not well detailed, and we were looking for detailed drawings. And so in the process, a different idea came up for this hood. And so we have the building shown, well, the rendering shown, right? Is that-
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm not going to read through the description of the building at this point, since we've already, for the board has already done that. So the new door hood would include wooden corbel bracing, a shed roof, and standing seam metal roof. And it's proposed, it is a proposed new design it was altered enough from the other approval that it was decided this should come back. The old design was a shallow arched hood. The evaluation on this, really, I think this is a much more historically appropriate design for this house than the previous design. The details, there's still some sort of details that just should be on the drawings, and I'm sure there'll be some questions from the HDC, but I looked at the brackets. I think the image is showing them way heavier than they would be. Looked them up, and perhaps you could, I don't know if you have that information, Rob, but what the actual size of those are. I looked at a 32 by 32 bracket,
Okay.
and the thickness of the bracket is important. The 3.5 thick material should be adequate and visually a little better than the heavier look. And then if we had dimensions, how wide and how deep is the shed roof? It appears to be about 4 foot deep, 5.5 to 6 feet wide. The slope of the roof, and then the relationship of the roof to the door, and just sort of how high is the ceiling, I'll call it the ceiling plane of the roof above the door. And will the roof have a ceiling, or will the rafters be visible? And if the roof is open underneath, would the sheathing be something that is more finished, like a tongue and groove? Because it would be highly visible from down below.
I think it's gonna, there's a transom window, so the door sits, the hood sits a little bit high anyway. I was expecting that we'd bring that down as close to the transom as possible, because otherwise
It looks too high
the
otherwise.
existing one is too high
Yeah.
currently. We also have to cover over a little bit of the removal of the aluminum that happened there. So there is a little bit of just figuring out and how to make that work, because some portions of that aluminum were cut out in the process of making this current door hood. And it would be closed. I do believe they wanted a light. It's not shown in that drawing. That drawing is too rudimentary, but I do believe they had that. So I don't think tongue and groove is necessarily a problem, or, flat panel or
Like
something.
a ceiling of tongue and
It would be
groove.
it would be a closed, in any event, it would be closed, yeah. And tongue and groove would be fine. I think you had mentioned there was, I think just wood is fine for that. It's a relatively protected area.
Exactly, yeah.
I
And then the
think
material of the sides, again, I was suggesting beaded board as a traditional option, and that might be a discussion. And then the standing seam roof, is this your son who drew them up, or?
No, he is not.
Okay, I didn't know who. You mentioned
Yeah, yeah.
somebody, and I didn't
Yeah,
know, is he somebody
he is,
who you're mentoring or something?
Maybe trying to mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an employee who is doing some architecture programs at Northampton Community
Yeah,
College.
so the drawings are a little bit clunky because this was sort of a mentored project. But nonetheless, so the standing seam wouldn't look as clunky as it shows, right? So it would be a traditional standing seam, either aluminum or steel.
Yeah, exactly. We found a steel one that was as traditional as you could get.
Yeah.
And it's also relatively a small span. That span is covering essentially the landing. I don't
Do you
know if
have
this
those
picture-
dimensions?
I don't have them on me. I'm sorry. Justin, he was supposed to be here, but he had some issues come up today, so he couldn't make it. And I was relying on him. So it basically comes just past the mailbox on the left-hand side, which is towards the edge of that landing. And then otherwise, the front of it actually comes out to the edge of the landing where the handrail is, really giving whoever's standing there some cover from the rain. And it seemed like that was pretty much proportionate to that area when we were looking at it. But I can definitely send you some of the measurements.
No, I thought, it's up to the board, but just if the design is appropriate, whether we could just get a submittal afterwards with dimensions for verification, things like slope, et cetera.
The 45-degree angle seems too severe
Too severe.
for me, that when I looked at all the other similar roofs on the street, they were at a much lower pitch. And if we can go back to the photo of the live photo of the building, part of the problem was, you see how high that sits?
Yeah.
The new dormer, the top of the roof sits equally as high. So I understand the problem of they removed the material underneath, but they had put that on without permits from the city or HDC approval. And maybe they need to find a little bit of that siding somewhere else on the back of the house to fill in so they can properly bring the dimensions downward so it feels like it's more of a covering over the roof. I'm afraid it's still going to float just as high, but have brackets to maybe try to pull it down, but.
Right. A less severe angle on the roof.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
What do you think?
612, 812 max,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay with the brackets that Christine recommended?
Yeah, I think, I want to say that they are just not quite represented in this drawing
Okay.
accurately, but I might have even found those exact ones.
I think they're just
like a
not accurate.
cedar
They're
bracket.
like I found the same website. I think I have the right ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do come in a variety of sizes,
Yeah.
so.
Right, so those brackets, perhaps the more lower pitch, and then fill in the siding so it doesn't run all the way up to that window.
Yeah.
Other comments from commissioners?
And you're okay with the beaded board?
I don't have any problem with it
Okay.
personally, but
Rob, okay,
we need to do something on the sides.
yeah.
And there, as I said, I think they wanted a light underneath it, so it's simple enough.
But if it were, so you're thinking it's going to be open or it's going to be flat?
Oh, the underneath is going to be closed.
Closed?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll work fine for for the lighting.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I'm pretty sure that birds would nest under there sooner or later.
Probably
Oh, yeah.
bees.
Would you come back to us for the light?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on putting the light in,
Oh,
so
they would have to do that then.
they were gonna probably take care of that, yeah.
Okay.
I think we might leave them a hole or a box.
Any comments on this application from the public? Yes. Come forward, state your name, and happy to hear your comments
Address.
and your address.
Thank you. Paul Felder, 900 Paxinosa Avenue. First, I want to follow up on Clay's comment about the roof pitch. My larger point is about having a complete set of drawings. If you think about this as an example, that the roof pitch needs to change, there needs to be detailing of what happens on the side, the height is being looked at, the brackets are being looked at. I would urge the board, or I would ask the board, just as a general policy, when you're given a drawing which is conceptual, that you ask the applicant to return with completed drawings. And one of the things that it seems to me would be an appropriate addition to what we've seen would be a side elevation of this. Clay talked about the roof pitch, which I think is very important. And maybe it should be a 6-pitch, maybe it should be an 8-pitch. Maybe it should really be the same pitch from a historic point of view as the side of the house, because it looks like the side of the house is exposed, but we can't really see it. And if it could be the same pitch as the side of the house, I think that would give it a much more finished appearance. And putting that in scale, if you saw the side, you'd get a sense of scale of how far out this thing is extending relative to the height. There are a whole series of I think, important architectural details that you can see with a complete set of drawings. So I would just urge the board, without making things impossible for the applicants. And I know this costs money, this costs time, but I think as a general principle, Easton would be well served by asking applicants who, through no fault of their own, simply they don't know, and in this case you have a totally overqualified contractor to do it. And so I think you can kind of count on the fact that it's going to be done right. But that's not a good precedent to set as a board. You could have some completely incompetent contractor or owner taking the information that you've given them and making a complete hash of it. So, while I hate to single out this project and say, I would recommend that you ask for the applicant to come back, I think as a general principle, that's what should happen in a lot more cases than it does. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any other?
I basically agree.
Well, I know you agree.
I do, because, ultimately, and I think it would be helpful if I did have Justin, who came up with this little drawing, work a little harder on it and resubmit it to you guys so that
You
you can
think
see.
that he could do those drawings, submit them to Christine for her review?
Yeah,
To
especially
make
with some
sure
note-
that they
especially
sort
with
of
some,
fall in line with what we've discussed in the proportions.
yeah, some
before the work
constructive
we were made.
criticism to redo what he's done. He ultimately wanted to submit this to his professor at his school, and I was like, meh.
Well, this is a learning curve for him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so,
that's okay.
so
That's
I'm,
all right, we
I'm
can
fine with it.
occur some additional work from your protege to help him get a better grade.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion on this?
Well, if we're waiting for updated drawings,
Well, I guess the question is whether we are fine with conceptually enough that the updated drawings would be approved by Christine.
In the past, we have done that, and in this case, I am okay with that. I respect the input from the public, but I'm okay with you, of course, communicating to the mentee.
Yeah.
And then getting the information to Christine. Christine gets it to us.
Yep.
And unfortunately, this has sort of been going on now for 8 months.
It was a while ago. I mean,
It's been a-
it's changed course a couple times.
Unfortunately, and you weren't part of it, Rob, but this was a grant from Facade Grant.
Right.
Yeah, from the
And the
city.
people that offered the grant never explained to the applicant that you needed to get permits to do work.
Gotcha.
So work was done without permits and without HDC approval. And then they had a stop work order on the first version. And,
Well, for
Then-
that reason alone, I don't want to screw it up.
right,
So we'll take some time and everyone should be happy before we actually build
I
this
just
thing.
want to speak to that because I'm the facade grant
oh,
administrator.
great, good.
And I brought this to the board a
And your
year
name
ago.
and.
My name's Kelly Joseph. I work for the Redevelopment Authority.
Okay.
Great.
So what happened is I applied for the SHPO with the work scope, and it wasn't flagged. And being new to this whole venue, I didn't realize that a door hood was under the purview because we were doing painting and gutters and a door hood. And it didn't get flagged by SHPO, and the only other time I've done anything downtown, I relied on State Historic Preservation Office to let me know that it had to go. So I take, the onus is on me as well as the contractor who did not follow the specs that we provided him. That's why it was stopped and codes got involved and we stopped the work. We paid him for the work he did, and then we were fortunate enough to get Rob. I just wanted to give you
Thank you.
the background on that.
Helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm fine with whichever way we go with this, whether you want to have Rob's person redraw and for Christine's approval, or whether we need to have him come back.
I said already, I'm okay with Rob submitting to Christine. Christine, of course, submitting to us.
You want to make that a form of
I'll make
motion?
that as a motion, as long as you include everything we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
For sure.
yeah.
Just to define that, we had, angle of roof, 612, 812 max. We had updating the beaded board. What else did you have on your list?
Infill of
dimension.
siding where needed, maybe from a piece in the
Yep.
rear.
And dimensions, everything
And landing
dimensioned.
dimensions.
And was there maybe a defined, set of parameters for those dimensions that you're looking for?
Well,
Do we wanna-
everything.
Well-
Yeah, so width, height, depth, dimension of brackets, door accurately, height above the door, where is that ceiling going to, how is that going to be done? I mean, you could slope a little and then flatten it, so we could bring it down a little bit.
And the application of
And it-
what's on the side, is it just a flat panel, or is that a raised,
What would show
raised panel?
A
or-
beadboard is what we were just talking about, but if you also show the slope of the roof from the side, which is Mr. Felder's point, is, how do they relate to each other, I believe, so.
Be good.
A nice architectural drawing,
Yeah.
or two.
Yes,
You okay with all that, Rob?
I'm fine.
All right.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Were you seconding it?
I will second, yeah.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank
Don't
you, Rob.
Don't go anywhere, Rob.
All right, so our third application, Rob Wozniak, 140 Northampton Street, proposal for masonry restoration and wood repair. The applicant is Easton Condominium Association, Inc.
All right, this is the Eastonian. The building is 9-story, former Hotel Easton, dating from the 1920s. The building is tan brick with stone detailing around round arched windows of the piano nobile, mostly double hung windows and multiple first floor level storefronts. The building is classical revival in style. The building was renovated and converted into apartments, about 30 of them. Proposed to do masonry restoration and wood repairs. This would involve cleaning the facade and windows on the first and second floors for repainting of windows, and it said stucco facade. Is there any stucco there?
It's, I don't know why it said stucco, but.
Yeah, that was my-
It's actually a cast concrete, predominantly on the first floor that was painted.
So it's not stone.
The paint is, no, it's not stone. And
Okay.
the paint
Paint's
is,
peeling.
is failing.
Yeah, it's
Um,
feeling.
So I proposed to them just recently, probably after this was submitted, that we're going to take all that paint off, but then we're going to use like a potassium
Silicate,
silicate paint.
yeah.
So that hopefully this isn't a recurring issue.
Yeah. I'll just go through your list so everyone has it. Repair and repoint concrete and limestone ornament in areas where mortar joints have failed, repair cracks on the facade, and repair any additional wood window trim with the Abitron liquid epoxy. Replace 9 rusting steel lintels over windows on the Green Street side that are bowing with stainless steel lintels. This involves removal and replacement of soldier course of brick above each window. Install copper through wall flashing, or I don't know if it's through wall, but
It's gonna-
regulate
yeah.
at least, over 2 windows on Green Street with cornice above them, as was done on the Northampton Street side. Apply lithium silicate or silane treatment to all horizontal cast concrete masonry surfaces on Northampton Street facade. The silicate paint, that actually makes the concrete harder and more resistant to water infiltration. We'd like to attempt to remove the latex-based masonry paint on the portions of the facade that are masonry. And ideal to remove it back enough then to use the potassium silicate paint there, which would be applied to the cast stone, right? So the standards, here really standard 9 and standard 6, and the continued repair and restoration of the Estonian is to be lauded. It's quite a lot of work that you've done already. The proposed work is historically appropriate. The only question I had was where the stucco was, which I am now clear.
I think while it was painted, it was unclear what I call it. I mean, you could call it almost anything you want, but it's not limestone. It's not a limestone
Yeah.
foundation. Underneath on the water table
That's
is actually
stone,
like
yeah.
I don't think it is. I think it's still concrete, and it's like has these black speckled pieces in it. But the way it's deteriorating, it's not like a granite or anything like that. So
Interesting.
it's a little hard to know what that stone is, but that is the only thing that hasn't been painted.
Right.
The rest of it was painted, and the paint was failing. And we did a test like a week and a half ago, and
Comes
and
off.
and it came off great.
Great.
Yeah, with no chemicals or anything, just really hot water.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the removal of that latex paint on the first and second floors would be historically appropriate and exciting to see.
I don't have colors, and the new owner of the hotel, she has the color chart, but she also is on vacation for the month of August. So
We don't need the color.
okay, no,
We don't need the color, yeah.
Any,
I want to know what it is.
I'm going to say we'd like to know. We'd want it to be appropriate to the building, but if
any
it's paint.
comments from the public?
Oh,
And any, what are the comments from the commissioners?
question is, I know it's a new owner. Is this the first time the owner is doing anything out external?
No, she's been she was the comptroller for the building previously.
Oh, okay, okay,
And it
okay. Got it.
it changed ownership, but
No
as,
more
as she
questions.
said, now I can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
That was her response.
okay.
It should
No.
be. It should actually. That building is needs a lot of work. It's a very large building.
Yeah, it's a beauty. I have no more questions.
Any further questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Do we have a second?
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thanks,
So
Rob.
let's see, is Rob Wozniak still here?
I think it's one more.
Do have
Yes,
one more.
435 Northampton Street, proposal for rear repointing, replacing rotten sills, replacing 4 windows. The applicant would be Gary Ringhoff and Michael Holford, by Rob Wozniak.
Summertime, Rob.
Our friend Gary.
Mhm.
So this structure is a 3-story, 3-bay attached mixed-use commercial building with gable roof, projecting cornice, and 1/1 double-hung windows and a historically sympathetic storefront. At the rear of the building are two-story and one-story flat-roofed additions. The building dates from the mid to late 19th century and is federal in style. It's proposed it's proposed to do rear repointing, replacing rotting, et cetera, what was just said. There will be 4 vinyl windows replaced on the second floor rear with fiberglass windows, and the rotten sills would be replaced and reinstall missing window trim. The windows are shown as Marvin aluminum clad in the document. Is that incorrect?
I am not entirely sure at this
Okay,
point,
yeah.
to be honest, because we went through a lot of window options.
So, yeah, what we got was Sierra white aluminum clad. And there's 2 large casements, 41 by 71, 1 small casement at 22 by 39, and 1 double hung, 49 and a half wide by 72 tall. So standard 9, and then also our guidelines on window replacements. The proposed masonry and wood repairs are in-kind and historically appropriate, and preservation brief number 2 would be followed. The proposed window replacements meet our design guidelines in terms of material, if aluminum clad or fiberglass. The new windows must fit the size of the existing openings. The windows are very far back from the public right-of-way and are hard to see, although they are visible. The mystery for me was why 3 casements and 1 double hung?
Well, this is why we've gone through the windows quite a few times. So originally they were going to be fiberglass windows, and I had a window company that I had just recently used called Interlux, and and they had very reasonably priced windows, but their shipping was like twice the cost of the windows, because they literally put them in a truck and they drive them from like the Midwest out here in a private truck. So it wasn't practical. So then I went to Dykes and talked to them, and they originally started with fiberglass windows, but then I think it's turned to aluminum windows, and in large part the difference is that they don't make a casement large enough for that 49-inch window. It stops at like 42. And he does want casements, and he kind of said, oh, well, as long as they, match.
So you couldn't get one for that wider.
Yes, unless there was another, unless you went up in sort of their eliteness, and then again the windows were like according to Dykes, they were about 3 times the original cost. So.
And a pair wouldn't look good. A pair would be too skinny.
They are in different parts of the building from the inside, but from the outside,
I mean, at the distance we're looking and how the angle is, I'm not so sure you would
Been on the roof, I don't
see it. Yeah.
Isn't, yeah, I didn't walk it, but it's hard to see.
It
And
is.
Isn't there a fence there too at the lower
There's a
level?
first floor fence
Yeah.
and a little courtyard.
Yeah,
And then 2 of the windows, one bathroom window and another, well, they're both bathroom windows actually. The really large one is in the bathroom as well. And then the other 2 are in the living room. They're completely on the, you can only see like the top of one
top
of
of
them.
them, yeah.
So they're not really next to each other in a way, but of course they are ultimately next to each other.
So which are the windows that are being replaced, the top 4?
The top 4.
Yeah, if you can
Yeah.
see, there's
Large and 1 little.
the tiny one to the left, and then
Yeah.
the double hung, and then it would be 2 casements.
And which is the one that is the double hung, which is too big to go casement?
It is the one to the right of that window. I don't know if I have good pictures on the
On the left.
The left side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And when you look from a distance, those 2 that would be casements, you almost don't see the full window. So I'm not so sure
Exactly.
you would even know the difference.
Yeah.
You had mentioned putting a divider across them.
When we chatted,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gary wasn't too kind on that idea, but I mean, it could be an answer to making
Any
them
concerns?
making them look
Yeah.
similar.
More like
you know.
casement.
they are just a one over one.
It's a horizontal mullion.
What's
We-
that?
Or
We've
Muntin,
made,
I
we've
mean.
made other people put them in when they wanted casement windows on Green Street.
We did.
Yeah.
Of course, that was front facade
Correct.
mostly. I think it was only on the front we required that.
I have a
Correct.
hard time with half a window show and try and direct. I really do. I mean,
I-
the
I
window
like-
that will be exposed, okay, but I have a hard time. It's a half a window.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we do when that happens?
I'm not a big, necessarily that keen on the idea of divided lights when they don't actually have too much function, but I did it recently on some windows and like, you know, but they have like an interior piece on them and, you know.
And the owner's not thrilled about the idea? I can understand that.
Yeah.
Not feeling good, okay. Not feeling it.
If it were the front of the building, I
Totally.
might have a different opinion.
Totally
Where it is
different.
in the back of the building and the distance from the street and the angle of the roof,
Yeah.
I am somewhat indifferent on putting a mullion through. If they were 6/6, it might be a different story, but they're not.
No, they're not.
Certainly, I'd rather see 3 casements, but
Yeah.
that doesn't seem to be as viable
Well,
of an
can I ask a
option either.
question? If, because, you know, time is always precious here, but I spent a good amount of time figuring out this window stuff with him, but it's mostly just going back and forth. If I did find a casement window that, you know, we could use in that space, I mean, does it, I don't know if you have to approve it as is or,
I personally would rather see all 3 casements if they found a reasonably cost casement to have the 3 main
But
windows
that's
across
really
the back
wide.
would be
I don't
insane.
think you can get over, 36?
that's what they said, is that
Yeah.
it was literally gonna cost like, I mean, the window's pricey in and of itself, but it was.
But
gonna
it looks
be-
like you can get, but the 2 you're getting are still wide. They're
They're
41.
Almost at the max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess 42 might be max.
Yeah.
I think you can only do that with your aluminum clad wood. I don't, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a rear of the building. It's very hard to see the angle of your view, and the roof obstructs a good portion of those 2 casement windows. I don't think it has a negative impact on the historic district.
I would agree.
I would as well.
Do I have any public comments to the window proposal? Do I have further comments from commissioners?
I think the most important part is that it's going to be a clad window and it's not going to be a vinyl window. Obviously,
No.
you can't make it, but just as long as it's documented that it's not vinyl.
Correct.
That meets the guidelines.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept it with
As-
with the noting that it's going to be a clad window.
Mhm.
And if they would find a casement that would meet the larger size, would be okay if they did all 3 encasement?
That would be fine, minus the mullion,
Right,
without the mullion.
minus the mullion, yeah. We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank
I
you,
think
Rob.
that concludes your.
Thanks for the long visit, Rob.
Maybe next spring I'll be back.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you for what you guys do.
You do
Appreciate it.
great work.
Our next application is 121 to 27 Northampton Street, proposal to install a neon sign. Owner applicant, Broad Red LLC, Brian Dowling. Hello?
I'm not Brian, I'm Cliff
Right.
Ross here to represent Brian. I'm the one making the sign.
Okay.
All right, so this structure is a 2-story, semi-attached brick mixed-use building housing a storefront, apartments, and a parking garage. The garage entrance is on the eastern end of the facade. Historically, the building was 3 stories at the front, a single story at the middle, and 2 stories at the rear. In 1919, it was already a parking garage at that point, the side to the side. The building is a mix of 1940s, 80s, and late 19th century commercial styles. The building suffered a fire and lost one level at the front in the reconstruction. The side of the building is a mix of historic materials as well. The storefront was renovated for cabinet, but it's now a new restaurant. It is proposed to install a neon sign. It is a welded steel construction with aluminum skins, powder-coated semi-gloss black. The sign will be externally lit with 13mm red glass neon reading Marcy's. Neon will be supported with glass insulators, porcelain housings, and powered with 12,000-volt neon transformer. The sign will be supported with 2 hanging brackets and appears to be in the same location as the cabinet sign. Sign is 24 inches by 18 in size and double-sided. Standard 9 and mostly are guidelines on signage. And it appears this is real neon. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Yes.
It's not LED.
It's a real deal.
It's
Yeah.
the real deal.
Yes.
Which is amazing. The sign is appropriately scaled and historically appropriate. Red neon for the sign and the chosen font are historically appropriate and recall the streamlined modern style.
Correct. Yep.
Just have to tell you, it's a very, very cool sign.
I
Thank
agree.
you very much. And yeah, and
Amen.
Very, very
I
impressed.
didn't know
very
if
impressed
there
with
was
the design.
anyone around who still did real neon.
yeah, it's rare, but yeah, because most people do the LED. It's a lot cheaper. But yeah, Brian wants the best, and he wants it more like a speakeasy, understated vibe. He's not doing anything at all on the rest of the building, really, on the exterior. So
What is the size of it?
24 wide by 16 high.
I think
Or
I read.
18
I
or
think
18 high.
18 was what I
18
had.
high, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, 24 by
Okay.
18.
Yeah, because it looks bigger in the photo, that's why I asked. Yeah.
It might be a little, I mean, I scaled it in Photoshop. It might appear a wee bit bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, where it's hanging there. So yeah, and I think cabinet that was the size
was-
was a little bigger than that. I think that was a
Might have been.
square, like 24 by 24. So it's about the same. We're
Okay.
using the same brackets to
Okay.
that the sign was hanging on there as well.
Right. Love it.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
It's awesome.
Any comments from the public? Any comments from commission? Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept it as submitted.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Love Marcy's Burgers.
All right, yeah, definitely. Y'all stop by for a burger when they're done.
We
So,
will.
all right,
And-
thank you
and
so
where
much.
is your sign, where are you out of?
Alpha Building,
Alpha
where I
Building.
work. Yeah. So.
What?
So we need to find you, you're right here in town.
Oh, yeah. Good. Second floor, Suite 201. Stop by anytime. Happy to.
That's awesome.
We will, good to
Thank
know.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Always
Thank you.
looking for quality sign people.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and we do everything in-house. We don't outsource anything. So, yeah.
Keeping it
please
local,
stay
I
in
like
touch.
it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You do all kinds of signage?
Yes, sir. Yep. We've done a lot of the signs downtown, the bracket hanging signs, aluminum, Alumilite, vinyl, all that kind of stuff. So,
There's a website you've got?
yes, cliffrossprints.com. And there's also cliffross.com. So everything's on there.
Very good.
All right, great. Thank you again so much.
Thank you. Appreciate
You
it.
too.
Thanks,
Take
Cliff.
care.
50103 Northampton Street, proposal for facade and roof renovations, City of Easton, Dave Hopkins. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
All right. So the structure, the Hooper House, it's a 2.5-story, 4-bay, semi-detached stone building with a pitched roof, altered storefront, and exposed limestone rubble masonry previously covered with brick coat. At the rear are 2 attached structures with facades facing north 5th Street. The first attached structure is a three-story stone building, got it switched, finished with probably the roughest stucco I've ever seen in my life. The northernmost attached structure is not part of this, and that structure is brick covered with furring and vinyl siding. The Hooper House is a very historic and important structure dating from 1761. The building is altered, but originally Georgian, the building has been partially renovated. The date of the first attached building is likely late 18th to early 19th century. And the following are proposed for the rear extension, and then we have a little bit for the front. So the proposal is to remove the stucco south and east facades, so this is the back extension, and brick coat, which is up above on the south. Stabilization and spot repointing of the masonry. The condition of the masonry will not be known, or it will be quantified more accurately until exposed. Removal of the existing roofing and doing re-roofing and resheathing, which will also involve the stabilization of the existing roof framing. We're not exactly sure what we're going to uncover there, but possibly sistering to existing rafters, but more specific reinforcements or replacements would be determined after roofing is removed. Replacement of cricket between the two sections and installation of new flashing gutters and downspouts. Downspouts would likely be temporary while construction's going on for several reasons. There's a stair that goes to that third building, to the Timothy House, that is across the facade of the Hooper House extension, and that's not going to be taken care of right away. And in repair and replacement in kind of roof rake boards, fascia soffits, repair and replace in kind and repainting of window and door frames once exposed, if existing. They probably are under there, but not really sure. Replacement in kind of rotted or severely deteriorated wood sills or headers. Infill with exterior plywood in all newly exposed openings, including the doors once the stucco is removed. For the Hooper House itself, there is some stabilization and spot repointing of masonry, which should be done, which is mostly seen below the roof line and in the center upper section of the east facade. Repair or replacement in kind of roof rake boards, fascia and soffits. Replacement in kind of rotted or severely deteriorated wood sills or headers. Existing plywood to remain at this point in the openings. And then replacement, the cricket replacement is between the two of them. The standards for the project, Standard 9 and Standard 6. The approach is really a repair and repair rather than replace. And I will recuse myself from any evaluation. The city has contracted with me to do this preliminary work, and Dave will give you a little update on this. This was very quick. Some extra money was found in the budget.
We have some leftover grant money.
So, which has to be spent by the end of the year. So Dave can take it from here.
Yeah, so we don't have, a whole lot of time, but it's better than losing the money. So I contacted Christine and said, look, any work we do is better than none. And so it's like a worst to first type of effort, get in there, try and do some structural elements and roofing and continue fundraising. But this portion is really just going to be how much work can we get done for the money that we have.
So it may not cover everything. And it sounds like it.
So is this
might not.
everything in the application? Is
For
this
now.
everything that,
For
for now
now.
only?
Right.
And does this build a foundation that more grant money can build on?
That's the
Yeah,
hope.
that's the idea.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And if there was time that to where
Time
you
and
didn't
money
have
are
to
always
spend
the-
it, it could have been
are always
used
the
as a
problem.
match for another grant, but unfortunately has to be spent.
Understand.
One of my questions was, and I know you've got a lot of things that you're working with, is ultimately, I imagine in the restoration, the front roof should be in slate. But that, there's not money there to do that, and if you're putting a roof on, will that ultimately be taken off to replace it with slate?
I think we recommended,
Well, at the moment, it is slate line, and it was approved and installed at some point past.
But that's coming off, right?
At the moment, we don't have money for that.
Oh,
And
so
that's functional, right?
It's,
right?
so right now,
it's staying on for now?
yes.
Okay.
And
yeah,
it's
good.
functional.
It's functional. We're keeping water out. The primary concern here is to keep water out of this building.
Sure.
Both buildings.
Yeah.
So I think the first item to really address is the roof on the addition,
So it's the roof on the addition, not on the front piece?
right?
Got it, fine.
Because that is
Right,
doing its job.
right. So the front is not leaking, that's staying the same. The roof on the back will be replaced to keep the water from leaking in.
correct.
Got it.
And there's probably structural repairs. We cannot get to that second floor, so that's why there's a lot of mystery as to what we've got and how to approach this,
It's sagging pretty good, though.
but it's sagging, yeah.
All from the leak?
Don't know.
Okay.
I mean, just
Years of neglect.
near years of neglect.
This is great news that I know.
It's a start.
Yeah, it's a
Positive.
start. Better than letting it sit there.
Do you have any questions here? Public, are there questions from the public, Paul?
Just from what I've seen, rather than whine about things the way I usually do, I'd just like to congratulate everybody involved with this. That especially following up on Clay's question, looking at it, I was concerned that the roof of the Hooper House itself was being replaced with slate line. But as I now understand it, it's an existing roof that's staying there for now because it works. And it can be dealt with later. So this just seems like a step forward that's been needed for decades, and thank you all.
And it's exciting that there might be something happening on it.
Right, after decades of
Yeah.
watching this.
Yeah.
And we're excited that you're involved, Christine.
And your temporary covering in the front looks great, by the way, for the
Yeah,
Thank you.
holidays.
yeah.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept it as submitted, and that the project details are noted, and the funds will go as far as they can go, but it'll be approved, so if they get additional funding, they can continue with what we're approving today.
To whatever's defined
Yes.
here, yeah.
Sounds like a good motion.
And I mean, I should point out that we had proposed just the slate line on the extension for now, because to me, that can be changed in the future, but we get something on there that's appropriate, keep the water out.
And is that extension really even visible?
That roof is harder to see. I mean, the front is the front is the
Top of
the
it.
gem,
Right.
right?
I'll second.
We have motion, we have second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for finding the money.
Thanks, Dave.
Wish it was more.
I'm sorry, who actually made that motion? Was that you, Diane? No, you said-
Charbel, I second.
Charbel, sorry.
Okay, we move on to our last application of the evening, 30 South Fifth Street. Proposal to repair or replace paint siding, window trims and doors, and replace windows and masonry work. This would be SKDEG Holding.
No, sir.
Oh,
I'm
it's
the
been-
new owner. My name is Thomas Damone,
Okay,
and it's under Dam Hill Holdings LLC.
okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Right, I did pick up on that, actually.
So the agenda was off from the
Yeah.
review sheet. Okay,
I checked it and saw that it had just changed hands in the end of June. So this structure is a 2.5-story semi-detached frame dwelling with gable roof, large front shed roofed dormer, 1/1 double hung windows, an altered former storefront on the north side of the first floor, a pair of historic entry doors on the south end of the first floor, and a rear 2+ story extension. The house dates from the early to mid-19th century and is altered federal in style. The house has historic wood clapboard siding of various exposure dimensions. It is proposed to repair, replace, and paint siding, window trim and doors, replace window and masonry work. In more detail, repair, replace, repaint the existing siding, that's the same. Paint the existing metal fire escape. Remove existing siding in hidden alley in the back of the building. Replace the siding, replace the existing solid glass window panel with functioning window. Repair concrete stair and landing platform. Skim coat entire plaster foundation. Standard 9, which I will repeat here, exterior alterations shall not destroy historic materials that characterize a property. The new work should be compatible with the massing, size, scale, and architectural features to protect the historic integrity of the property and its environment. And also Standard 6, which states deteriorated features shall be repaired rather than replaced. Where the severity of deterioration requires replacement of a distinctive feature, the new shall match the old in design, color, texture, and other visual qualities, and where possible, materials. And also in our guidelines on the same items, trim, windows, siding, and stoop repair. So I'm just sort of going through the various numbered items that you had. The proposal to repair, replace, and repaint the existing wood siding, window and door trim is historically appropriate as long as the replacement of any item is done in kind. The various exposure dimensions should be maintained. The repainting of the metal fire escape does not need our approval. The removal of existing siding in the hidden alley in back of building is not something I can find any past approvals for, but if it is not visible from any public right-of-way, would not need our review. If it is visible, the material plan to replace the existing must be reviewed and discussed, although there was nothing submitted on that. The replacement of the fixed glass window on the side of the front in the northwest corner is something that needs further information. The counterbalance section of the fire escape runs across the window. Any change to the window will probably trigger fire rating of windows, and it's recommended to consider, if you do change, that we look at a design that fills the opening there. So possibly fixed transom windows above a pair of in-swinging casements. This will preserve the frames of the existing fixed glass storefront window and the storefront cornice above. A drawing should be prepared for the alteration. Approval without a drawing is not recommended. Fire-rated windows will be required by the city and building code if within 10 feet of the fire escape. Any window within 10 feet. The repair of the concrete steps and landing should maintain existing materials. The steps and landing to the former storefront have, it's either a slate or some type of bluestone tread and also stuccoed risers. The treads should be replaced as needed and mortared in place. The risers should be stuccoed as needed. The poured concrete landing at the other entry should be repaired with newly formed concrete. It's just a corner that has split off. The foundation of the existing, I'll say the front part of the house, the oldest, then this is running along the side street. That is a stone foundation scored with a stucco finish. This is a historic character-defining feature of the house and helps date it to the early 19th century. The stucco should not be skim-coated, but repaired in areas needed, with the repairs scored to match in with the score lines of the historic stucco. The stucco could then also be finished with a silicate paint, as we saw with the Estonian, that could even out the colors of the repairs. Silicate paint is a highly durable material, mineral coating that chemically bonds with the masonry surfaces through a process called silicifications. Anyway, key advantages include exceptional breathability, UV resistance, and natural mold prevention. And I just, there's many, not many, but a few different places to get that, and Keim Mineral Masonry Paints is one location. So that was my write-up, but it has been brought to my attention that things have been done already on the building, and that foundation has been skim coated.
No, the foundation has not been skim coated. It has been repaired, right? You skimmed?
On the areas where they wanted it. I'm the contractor. My name's Alan Onofre. We did on the front side where the inspectors were, I guess, code violation, where the inlets go for the gas meters. So we skim coated that and just around the side. That is all. So,
That's the area there,
yes.
but that's the area that has the historic stucco.
So it didn't have anything prior to that. It was all falling apart.
No, I have the old images of it. I mean, it may have needed a little repair, but there was plenty of it left to see. So that, and then the wood siding repairs really need to match. So there's one of the board members provided some photos. So the patches that have been done, some of them match, but many of them don't. So some of that would need to be discussed with you.
So existing there, I brought these because that house has all different sizes. This
It does.
is cedar wood.
Yeah.
So I try to get it as much as perfect as possible without
Mm-hmm.
redoing the entire siding, as you were told. So I don't know how much more perfect you want me to get it. Dykes, 80 Moyer, they're running low on this quantity of wood. So we're saving what we can save, but what's deteriorating, meaning if I poke at it, if I touch it with a hammer and it crumbles, that's no good in my book. So those are the only pieces that we are replacing entirely. Everything else is getting a nice scrape, a nice sanding.
And that's
power wash.
appropriate.
And
That's appropriate.
That's what we're doing.
But there are, so for instance, here,
Yes,
um,
1 by 12.
you're not
cedar.
matching in.
You got
with the
4
grooves.
boards going to 3 boards.
Yeah, so
They
things
never
like that
matched
need
it.
to be done to
They-
match.
Okay, so he
They,
knows.
they didn't never match from the beginning. So when I bought the building, they were two different sizes to begin with.
Correct.
They were never one.
I mean, it's a
So-
mixed match of
Yeah,
stuff.
so
Some of this,
the
though,
old owner kind of just Band-Aided the whole exterior together. So he put up, as he saw fit with boards that weren't the correct size. So you have some boards that are bigger and some boards that are smaller.
Correct.
Well, so you're saying that you just replaced it the way it was, the way you bought it?
What,
The way we bought it, we changed the boards for the size that was there, correct?
So I took my existing dimensions and basically took out that piece, cut out a new one, ripped it right in, nailed it. That's how I followed that. Because if we do a walkthrough together, you guys will see much more that don't line up, and they were there for the years of the building.
and I could check them
Yeah.
with the, going back in time.
Okay.
I mean, some of them are done correctly, some of them didn't look like it, so I'd have to check. But
Doesn't make sense.
I'll pass these down so everyone can see.
Christine, I think the previous owner also had removed the capping on the front steps, and I think they had plastered over them, if I remember correctly. I don't know what's on there now, but they had.
They had already done
Yeah,
that
not these people, but the prior person, I do believe.
without any review, right?
Yes.
And it
From
was-
my knowledge in doing history, it had slate or
Yes.
bluestone on top.
Yes.
We haven't touched that. It's just bare right now.
Okay, so you could get the slate back on.
If that's something we agree with, so we can, yeah.
Is it mandatory that I put this slate back on, or can I
It's-
leave it as plain as I bought it?
I think he's gonna have to put the slate, because I think was it a woman who owned it or a male?
No, it
Who-
was a male.
Yeah, whoever owned it, I think it was flagged because someone had made a complaint to the code office that they had removed them and they had just like haphazardly stuccoed them, but there was slate on them.
Right, right.
So they would have to be restored to slate. And I understand that you weren't aware of that, but that what what was there before. And I think that could be verified probably through like, Google Street
Oh,
Photos.
yeah,
It could
it's
be
there.
ver-
It's
yeah.
in the older street views.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I knew it was there.
So you guys are okay with a slate or a bluestone, or it needs to be slate?
Well, I mean, you'd have to see what you can find and then present it to us that here's what we're gonna put on there, the capping we're gonna put.
Bluestone is a little, has more slip resistance,
Correct.
so that might be something to consider.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about the alley at the back. Is that like the grocer alley type of?
Present 2 photos, please.
Sure, that'd be great.
The one is the back, which has 2 different kinds of siding and the shingles that are on the side. That I would like to place with a like-for-like vinyl for vinyl and finish that off as well. And this is the hidden alleyway that you can see the bulging plywood that everything needs to be replaced. So I would like to take that off.
Yeah, and that
vinyl
is,
that as
They
well.
are different.
so, sir,
sizes.
that's, excuse me, that's back in
See.
here?
Yes, sir.
I'm not
I don't
seeing
think you can
boards
see that
when it's
from,
ready, so-
if you can't see it, then
Is this
Um,
the current view? or is
No,
this-
this is.
my
the-
concern is about this.
So when he says that's.
This
quite a
area
lot,
here is you're talking
they're
about?
hodgepodge, but the boards are fairly consistent.
Yeah.
You're talking about vinyl, so I wanted to see where the,
Do you have, I'm looking at those photos, I wanted to.
this is currently wood, right?
So, this window here.
Oh, yes, it
see
is,
how it's
yeah.
4 to
Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
So I just would like to do a like-for-like and vinyl the back
And then
with the
this,
matching
this
siding.
piece of, pieces of
Preserve
flashing.
this,
We're not
the
there.
siding.
Such a shame.
You know, they were wood, so they've just,
side
Right.
with
and they're putting the
fire
flashing
escape
over the wood instead of.
Okay, okay. All right,
I think it's, if I remember, it was two apartments, I think, if I recall correctly.
You better talk about that.
Christine, so here is
Might
the
be 3.
2-year-old photo.
Can't remember, I remember being in the first floor apartment
So
years
it's
ago
hodgepodge,
for a
but we're not seeing
complaint.
4 boards go to 3 boards, or. Yes, this is wider here and that's narrower there.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
And then here you can see foundation.
That was my concern there. So I also, there's part of, which I don't think was actually
Christine was talking about the foundation.
clear in the proposed work, the back of the building with the vinyl.
Yeah, my apologies. I didn't know that I could upload photos and stuff like that. This is my first time in front
Oh
of
my
the board.
gosh.
I would have sent you photos and,
I am, we have to figure out why it doesn't look like you can upload, because that's what we're all looking for,
Oh.
photos.
I know, I saw other people put pictures up there, so I would have submitted them earlier, so I apologize.
So the back of the building is currently, and I'll pass these down, is vinyl. And then you have a CMU, what looks like a chimney, and then CMU on the wall on the other side of the chimney, concrete block. In the alley, which I don't believe you can see, is an old, probably some type of a fiberboard or asphalt shingle on the walls, but I don't believe you can see this from the photos
No, you cannot,
submitted.
you cannot see it from the street.
So the proposal is to replace the vinyl with vinyl and then add vinyl over the CMU to make it look something like this,
Okay.
right? And I'll pass these down. Typically, the board does not approve vinyl, but they will approve a fiber cement siding
Mhm.
with a smooth fiber cement. The appearance that you're going for is appropriate. It's just the material that we need to have them weigh in on.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a like for a like. I mean, I'm not.
This ordinance doesn't actually support like for like when that material doesn't meet the guidelines. So that's why they usually are asking for us for fiber cement.
So you know what we're doing? We're looking at 2 years' photos from Google Earth, and it's inconsistent with the replacement that you talked about you did. So that's what we're looking at.
I can do those repairs though, they're not minor, I can just rip the piece, take it off. That's not a big deal if that's what you're asking for, but I'm
I
just
think
saying,
so. Yeah,
you know.
I mean, is to basically make it look like it was, I mean,
Yeah.
it is a mix
Right.
of exposures, and in some ways, that's part of the charm, believe it or not. But there are a few of your repairs I think need to be worked on.
Okay.
This is the area in particular here.
All
All right, especially here where you've got one overlapping, this shouldn't, and you've got a gap here, you know, that needs to
Okay.
get fixed. And these need to probably align here. I'd have to look. And you get,
But mostly
Four
that,
of
that
them.
main concern, that's the main area.
Well, there's a
this
lot of
is,
areas.
this is the main one that, from the photos we have. It might be something where I need to do a meeting.
We had an applicant who had a property downtown which had old 1850s siding like this, and each board was different.
Correct.
So they basically made each board that they replaced match the one. So if you had three boards and they're three different sides, each board was different size, so it was continuously.
It aligned.
And then they dovetailed them in at an angle, so it wasn't, look like a block. They
Beveled
blended
it.
and they
I
used
gotcha.
like some of that patching compound you're using so that when it was done, it was one board that looked like consistently one board, not breaking from three boards going to four boards or four boards to three boards.
Yes, sir.
And the cedar was, a lot of these old cedar boards are tapered. And I know you can't get them tapered that way, but you can plane them to match the boards that you're putting in so that they look like they match for the building.
Okay.
You know, this is a beautiful building and it has the potential for wonderful restoration, but some of the things so far aren't.
Aren't what?
That the street view of the siding in the back of the building, where'd those photos come from?
I took them.
Okay,
That was-
so one photo shows like it's all siding and the other one shows it as a.
Oh, that's a mock-up.
Yeah, that's
The
what you would
mock-up.
like to do.
Because I say, I don't remember a grass being that perfect on the sidewalk.
No, it's
I
a-
wish it looked like that.
Yeah.
But
That's what you want it to look like.
yes, yes, correct.
So I've been up the alley so many times.
I agree with you, Clay. I think that's a very great building, and I really would like to store it upon your recommendation and get it beautified and,
Yeah,
go
there's
from
just,
there.
it's a fine line between doing it and doing it right and doing it and just having it
Be okay.
be something somebody's got to rip out and do over again. So while you're doing it, you might as well do it right. And like some of the window trim, I saw where there's some windows where the windows, let me see if we have any of the windows that,
Looks like someone changed the size at some point.
right. So maybe Christine, you could, I don't know all the technical terms, but the way these joints go together is different than what the original windows.
I'd have to look, yeah, at what was there originally.
They were more like this with a windowsill, and now, see, like this is an original one with a sill. And then right here on this photo here, let me bring this over to you.
Oops.
What was going on with this right in here?
That was how a piece of board was already placed, so we just kept it like that. But if you want us to insert pieces, I can
Well,
do
even
that.
if you could like dovetail them in so it's not like a straight line, but try to get the board so that you're coming over to the window. Again, you want it to look historic and right. The same with the way this is boxed in over the window. It's just that the lines aren't even
Lining up.
lining up.
Okay.
Now here I see you did get the flashing under the board,
Yes.
but then on some of the windows, you just laid flashing over top of the board
Right.
above.
The way it lied over, so basically when the water comes, I did it like that because it wasn't gonna get in. You get what I mean? There in that specific scenario, that's why we put it like that. But in the other ones, it didn't actually have to go under because the wood just stayed kind of flush with the
Right,
trim
but for
like
the
that.
aesthetics, yeah, it's shedding the water, but if the flashing were under the board,
Okay,
it-
if that's what you would like,
the
we
way
could do.
that it would.
Probably gonna
Because what it
change
had
this.
before too was not even, was not like that.
Come back.
And obviously, we know that the building wasn't necessarily taken care of in the proper way, but we don't want you to continue to make the building look as bad as it looked with the prior owner. We want you to take it, and that's what makes things in the historic district become more valuable, because you've got buildings that you're continuing to make them better and make them look as they would have looked 100 years ago.
Yes, sir. And just to be on the record here, so I've done a lot of work in Easton. It's my first historic district doing here. I'm a young guy. I know his son, Mr. George Corey. Mr. Clunge knows me pretty well. So I pulled a lot of permits here. We do work to the books, but this is my first time dealing with you guys. So I would do those repairs. There's no problem with that. And also budget goes into the restoration of these things. So that's why I came here with my client, so we can hear all this together and then revisit the numbers to budget the property for your guys'
No, I'm glad
likeness.
that you're both here, because, again, it's a great building. I was through the building when it was for sale. I saw there was tremendous potential on this property. And one of the big expenses of this building is the facade. And you're right, the cedar has been let go. There are places you could punch your finger right through the siding.
Yes, sir.
And that's where, the big decision comes in, whether somebody should, replace the siding with cement board or restore the original cedar. I'm a big advocate of restoring the original cedar, but it is a long,
If you can.
time-consuming, if you can, it's a long, time-consuming project. Certainly, I've seen people that will say, we're just going to put cement board on, because that's the option which gives the original look, but it's new product, but is certainly, that's expensive as well.
Correct. And these boards are like $90 for a 12-foot board as well, so you can do the math on.
Oh, yeah, I understand, cedar is expensive, and if you've got a hand plane boards to match, it's even more expensive, but
Correct.
it's what it takes. I've been doing a lot of talking. Any
Well, what
other commissioners have questions or comments? You've sort of seen a lot, and, we have a long proposal, but then we have work that's been started.
What's the answer for the mortar that was done already?
I don't have an answer.
Will that
Can-
mortar come off
Look.
But
as,
it would take everything off.
no, I mean,
Probably.
as salt and stuff gets on it, if it's just a skim coat, will that?
I don't know how thick you
Yeah, I
applied
didn't
it.
go too thick. We did it, I guess you could say, like 3/8, maybe a quarter. It's not too thick. We try to literally grab the level of the wall. So if you guys go and see where the door casing is, you'll see like that much mortar's on there. The building across the street does have a plaster finish, so I'm not sure what's the difference or what I have to do. The
Well-
building right there, literally to the left, gray, that's all plastered, and they butted up to the brick. So I did acknowledge that and see that.
So the shame of it is just that was the way I could date the building, because there are very few that still have that score. So now that's gone. I don't think we can get it back.
Okay.
You didn't measure it. We don't know exact size. But that's late 18th century, early 19th. So the front part of that building is very old. And that's when I saw that, it was kind of exciting. I don't think we can get it back.
Okay.
What can you share with us, Christine, from your experience about what we can tell them about trying to get the cedar to look proper, where the joints are, where things come together, where
I
you go
think-
4 boards to 3?
Well, I think that if I'm hearing it, correctly, you're willing to redo some of these patches.
Yeah,
That
I
there
have
are
no problem with that.
and that where it was, or where it makes sense to have a horizontal relationship, we want to do that. You have different areas. There's some pretty clear sort of demarcations or lines where it changes, and we would stay with that. And as I said, some of these you've done just fine.
Okay.
It's really that one area. There might be some others because I wasn't there in person, but that we'd probably need to readdress. I'm concerned about the windows and the fire escape. This is a 3-unit, you need the fire escape, the windows don't appear rated. Is code requiring retrofitting these windows?
It looks like some of them have some type of wire in them from the photos I saw in there, but I haven't seen what their inspection report reads. But generally, there's a common wording when there's a fire escape that all windows within 10 feet of the fire escape have to be fire rated. So it's likely that maybe the double hung windows already are. I don't know if that big window is, but if you're going to change that opening,
As soon as you
whatever
change
goes
it,
in that opening would have to be fire rated.
yep. So, yeah, I just didn't know if there was a movement to require these changes if nothing was being done to them, or if they need to be changed, period. So that's something I couldn't answer. Building code would have to, but once you change that big window, it will have to go fire rated.
Yeah.
And that's
Noted. I have.
expensive, yeah.
Christine, what can you comment about, this kind of application?
Well, you already addressed, I think, rather well, the flashing and
Under the
and
board.
getting underboard. This is a tricky mess here.
Correct.
Understood.
I've personally been up there 40 feet in the air, not fun. So if that's what you guys want, though, we can do it. I just want to be clear. So it's my first time dealing with, the historic committee. It's not going to be my last time you guys will ever see me. I'm fairly young. I own properties. So
So, what you want is to get it, even if you need to cut a slot, is to get it in
basically undo it, slide it in.
or slide it up, come over the top, bend it, over, and a little kick on the bottom of it,
Got it.
right? Rather than seeing, 4 to 5 inches of it,
Okay, that's fine.
okay? Yeah, how do we do this one?
So you're gonna have to help us because it is, I'm trying to, the rest of the commissioners, as confused as I am, because I think we need help to be able to frame this, but I feel like this is so disoriented that I think probably coming back and having a little more specifically, or can there's certain things that we can approve, but there's certain things that are still have to be done.
Well, I think that a meeting where I come out and maybe someone else from the board, when we look at the conditions of the patches and identify which ones would need to be redone, we then can address the front stoop and whether we do the bluestone. I don't think that reversing the skim code on the foundation will be possible at this point. So that one, I think we lose.
Let it go.
We can't.
We have no-
We're not going to get it back. So the replacement of the window, I think we might want to take that off for now until you investigate what sort of you're up against. And when I meet with you, I can show you what I would recommend if you do. The window trim, again, is something I'll look at with the applicant on site. We need to address the back. I would recommend the back. The concept of what they would like to do is appropriate, but that it be done in fiber cement. The alleyway is not visible. The finish in there is not visible, so that would not need review. I don't even know how you can do the work back there.
We
So-
already removed it. We don't play around when it comes to work, so. But we got in the back alley.
How
It was
much
all
space?
shingle siding. It's very narrow. If you're
Yeah.
claustrophobic, don't recommend going back there. But we removed all that. We were just waiting to hear from you guys, and he knows as well, to see how we can move forward. But yeah, we would do all the proper repairs there, plywood that's rotten out, put in our Tyvek, siding it up, call it a day.
Well, that area could go vinyl because it's not visible.
Visible from right of way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys basically care about the front, the alleyway side, and then the back, because that's
All
visible to
three
whoever
visible.
drives.
Anything visible from the public right of way.
Understood.
All right, and trees the trees come and go, so that doesn't disqualify the back. If a tree is shielding it, or a bush,
ma'am.
we still would regulate that.
Got it.
So I don't know how to frame it, but I mean, the approach of a scrape, repair, and paint of the siding is appropriate. How it's been done needs to be worked on. So I'm not exactly sure. I mean,
We
could-
don't have enough information for steps till they decide what they're gonna put on it.
Right.
So the steps, we can't approve. The owner would have to decide on what he wants to put on it, you know, and then, come back to us with,
Would it make sense to table this? And have you come back, after I meet with you, we will carefully photograph the areas that need to be revised in terms of the siding. You would have time to come up with the tread material for the steps. We'd have the rear actually part of the submission so that we can address that. They would give you time to find out about the windows and fire rating of the windows so that we could then go over all of this for your sort of approval then in a month.
I'm not gonna replace that.
So for the windows, the only main concern one I had the dimensions of it, which was that glass one. I guess it's because it was a commercial storefront, how you said. That was the only one he wanted to replace. So it was 56.5 wide by 82 high. We're not going to replace that anymore, but everything else was going to stay how it was.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, we take that off.
yeah.
Okay.
In terms of the siding, though, I get you. I'm pretty meticulous myself, so I get it what you mean when you want it to line up. If that's all you're asking, I will follow that from the width of the left and the right, and wherever it just doesn't meet up, make them align.
And
That's what we're on the same page for.
yeah.
So,
I mean, I think what I'm hearing is you'd like to get an approval so you continue to do work.
he's from New
Yes,
York. He's
we
coming
don't-
from our great city to Easton. He has multiple properties as well. This is his first in this city. Like I said, I gave him a heads up. I never dealt with you guys, but I know we had to do things correctly. So he was well aware, and he was like, let's go ahead and, approve, put in the paperwork, and start work, minimally. But I'm okay to do it whatever you guys choose, and he's here.
Bacon Fest got me last year. So once I went to Bacon Fest, I said I need a property near Bacon.
Bacon will do it every time.
So perhaps then it could be framed, then we don't have to deal with the windows.
Yes, ma'am.
It's off. So the approach is correct, but I think that this would require me to go out and get the modifications to make this meet the approval on the siding and trim.
And then it's like some places, there's windowsills and some of the replacement.
Yeah, I'll look at
windowsills are
that.
on
Yeah, I'll look at the windowsills, the trim, the siding, and work with the applicants on which areas would need to be revised. We could address the siding at the back, if approved, if willing to do the fiber cement.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to give them some work to approval,
Keep them busy.
to keep them busy.
Well, in the back,
Because I'm not comfortable voting on this unless we're really crystal clear about the things that they can do and what things they can't do. Does that make sense? So let's go through what they can do
And
that we can approve.
just follow the items 1 through 6 here, right? There's a couple that we can already remove.
One,
So let's just go through them. I mean, I think we're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole right now. But
So number one, so repair, replace, and repaint existing wood siding, window and door trim,
historically appropriate.
okay? And done in kind. So I need to just help the in-kind part,
Right.
all right?
So that we can approve as long as they agree with in-kind, correct?
Number one can be approved, you've agreed that you would make repair or revisions. Repainting the metal fire escape does not need our approval. The removal of the siding, number 3 is, so number 2 and 3 are out. Number 4 is out, because that's the window, right?
Yep.
The concrete steps, what we really need at this point is the tread material. Can we define that carefully enough? And what was there was probably a 3/4 inch slate in pieces. You know, we have to watch the riser dimensions, so a 3/4 material would make sense because it was there, unless you've added a lot on top.
No, we
already.
didn't even plaster on the top, so
Right.
you roughly want like a 7.5 inch rise. You have a little less than that, so we can like play with that.
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. Bluestone, I don't know how thin it comes, that's all.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how you would like to handle
Number
that
5.
material, number 5. And then the foundation is something that
It's moot.
I think we have to accept it as
Yeah,
it's
moot.
been done.
Okay.
What about handrails? The handrails I see on the old photos were like a wrought iron. I don't see handrails currently on the property.
There's handrails.
There's handrails.
There are handrails?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You haven't removed those, they're there.
No,
We
ma'am.
just
Okay.
repaired wherever.
Yeah, the
they-
handrails are there. They were gonna be painted black and restored.
There are handrails? Oh, yeah.
So really, it's,
It's 1 and
and
5.
5.
Yeah. I can't hear you. Why don't you tell them in the microphone?
Push that button.
I was asking how we would make it more explicit so that we know that the cedar you're replacing it with matches up to the cedar that was already there. The
Yeah,
planks
that's
that's
what
on
I
the
would
roof?
meet with them.
Going to meet with
Okay.
them.
And then, so 1 and 5, 5 really is just those tread material, and maybe that's something that we might need you just to come back with. I don't know. I'm just trying to get this through. I mean, that shouldn't hold up a lot of work. The back of the building then would be so we'd have 1, 5, and the back of the building to address.
Okay.
I just wanted to point out in the back of the building right now, the plywood is separating from the exterior. So, yeah, that's why we brought it up to attention, and especially with him. That's how it was, that's how we bought it. My plan, so it doesn't further damage, would be to remove all that siding, replace whatever plywood needs to be replaced, sheathe it, and then Tyvek it, and then wait for the decision we come up here, whether it's the fiberglass. You guys are definitely not gonna allow vinyl. That's definitely not gonna be in the back, okay?
Not
So
happening.
that's off the books for him, because that's what we were going back and forth about. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Just get it ready, because right now with all this rain, that's just getting worse and worse and worse. Inside, you can feel the humidity, the moisture,
You wanna
so.
get it ready.
Also, it's letting, it's separated from each other, the two corners, and it's letting some rodents into the basement as well. So there's actually a space in between the corner, which was on the inspection report, and I bought it and will address it upon your approval.
Fiber cement siding would be appropriate smooth, and that's something you have to be very, very careful with. You can get smooth,
Okay.
but you have to ask for it.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't, they'll make you take it out.
Okay.
And
We've
that's
made
very
people
painful.
take it off their buildings before.
It's very painful.
Do you guys recommend any distributors anywhere near here that, no, nothing? Okay.
Oh, we don't usually, we don't
I
like
know-
to sort of
okay.
give names that often because we,
A smooth finish, is that?
Smooth,
finish,
so
fiber cement.
as opposed to wood grain,
Okay.
okay? It's no wood grain.
No wood.
Very important, because they're going to ship you the wood grain.
Yes,
check it.
that comes unless you
Yep.
make sure it doesn't.
Specify smooth, no
Yes,
wood grain.
and you can get it pre-finished.
And you
And
can get it with a pre-color, and then you don't have to paint it.
Okay.
And that, you could work with colors that are available, and that might be the color you paint the rest of the house.
Does that have to
house.
be painted, maintained like siding? Is that?
It,
right?
well, what's great about the pre-finish, this is gonna last you a good 25 years or more where you don't have to paint it,
Okay.
okay? And there's a variety of colors, so that might be what dictates your color for painting.
Well, I have some sample of the colors that he chose, so
Huh?
I don't know how you guys go about choosing colors.
We don't choose colors.
We don't actually regulate paint colors. Okay.
That's one headache you don't have to worry about.
But if you work with a color, you can get that pre-finished, then, and they have nice colors, so you might be able to make a new color scheme work. Because what you showed me was like a sage green in your rendering.
A little
Darker
darker
green.
Yeah, I mean, they have some sage greens, maybe a little lighter than that. But, okay.
We have, are you clear?
So we can strip the back and then insulate it, but not put the cement board on, or we could put the fiberboard on.
If we vote
That's the only
Yeah,
thing
if
I'm
you agree
confused
to
about.
do it and we vote for it,
I'm gonna do as you tell me to do.
Okay.
I mean,
and the exposure is usually around 5 to 6 inches on that, so that's the amount that's visible.
Okay.
Okay.
you're still going to meet with them, Christine, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll set up something.
And we'll put in the motion that you will meet with them. And maybe someone else from the commission if needed.
Yeah, I'd be happy to join.
Okay,
That would be great.
okay. So do we have a full motion?
Yeah, so number one, with the meeting with myself and a board member
Yep.
to identify where things need to be revised. Number 5, we just need a submittal on what the tread will be, but it can be approved subject to that, you
Yes.
bringing it back. And then it would be the rear of the building, fiber cement siding smooth to replace vinyl
And the
and
skim,
to cover the concrete block areas.
and the skim coat we let go.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
I'll make the
Apologize.
motion.
Do we want to see if there's any comments from the,
Oh,
Comments from the public?
okay.
okay, I will make the motion as we just articulated.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you for your diligence. You'll have a
Yeah.
much better project when this is done in a far superior building, so I appreciate your,
I'm very upkeep on my properties. It was a mess when I got it. He Band-Aided it from the beginning, and
Yeah.
I don't work like that. The inspector was on site. My trees were trimmed, my grass is cut. I cleaned the garbage up area. The alleyway was loaded with garbage. I had someone come up and clean up. This is how I work. When you see the building done, I'll do you proud, I promise.
And this is not a mixed use, right? It was a mixed use.
It was a mixed use. It's a 3-story
Residential
residential.
now.
I have 3 tenants in there
Three
now.
tenants.
Okay, thank you for your
Thank you.
investment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll see you at Bacon
I'll
Fest.
see you at Bacon Fest.
Thank you for your patience.
okay, old business. Do we have any old business?
So I have on the agenda discussion of some changes from our approved plans for the confluence
We-
that James has brought up. Are you here at all for that, sir? No. Are you here for something? No. Okay. Listening.
Entertainment.
Okay. Who brought up the confluence?
James.
All right, James, you're up. Isn't the confluence finished?
No, not quite. So the commercial space isn't done yet. They need to get a tenant for the placement for the outfit.
I understand.
About a month ago, I noticed the catwalk when they were erecting it and finished it. And then I pulled the renderings up because it was part of the renderings to be connected to the parking garage.
Yeah.
Looks nothing like the renderings. So it's been brought to North Star's attention to submit anything through the HTC. Nothing's been submitted yet. And we're getting close to the point for residential certificate of occupancies right now. So it needs to be addressed.
So what was in the drawings originally was really an open walkway with a simple railing.
Yeah.
It is now
I have.
a pretty heavy enclosed,
Caged in.
caged
Yeah, I
in,
saw it the other day as well.
quite,
was that done for a reason? Like,
It could be, I just, no one's
Probably-
contacted me.
Probably to keep somebody from jumping over the edge, maybe a safety issue.
that's what it sounds like.
But I mean, there's ways they can bring things to the board to,
There's
Dress it up.
actually a lot of changes that I have noted that no one ever came to us on.
like,
You know,
which
like
changes?
windows, some treatment of windows and the jumbo brick instead of regular brick. So there's a number of changes.
That were
So,
slight.
I mean, this goes back to us, and we've talked about this a bunch of times, but I mean, the city of Easton really needs to have a violations procedure. Otherwise, I mean, how do you?
I mean, we have a procedure. I just have to
It's
send
just
them a violation notice, but.
Having eyes on the street from people who know what it should be. That's
Right,
the,
that's-
that's.
don't
with,
Because
you
it's
know,
one thing when you go from the scope of the building plans, because most of it's our third party. So they don't pick up on the HTC guidelines, and then just throughout the
Yeah.
process, it's just, sometimes doesn't get caught.
Thank God they kept 4th Street nice.
4th Street is nice.
Mhm.
So they're going to come with a,
Are they
What, I'm
coming?
gonna send a violation notice out.
Okay.
Because, I mean, because they keep saying that they contacted,
no one has contacted
that's
me.
when I decided to send the email out, because I didn't see anything in the system for the property.
If they're saying they did, that's not right.
Okay.
So when they come, can we discuss all the things that they've done, or just hit that?
Well, I mean, we certainly have the right to.
Mhm.
Because there's certainly, I mean, you have to get out the drawings submitted that were approved and take a look at the changes, and I think you had provided them to me. I can forward them.
Well, I totally agree with you that we need to do that. But to what end? Are they going to change it now?
No.
No, I'll just have to write
No.
citations out, and then.
But you know
it'll-
what, though? Would they change the walkway? Are they going to change that now? It's already in. Aren't people
I
using
mean,
it?
But there may be reasons for it, like you said, and
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
if it's
I mean-
safety and if it's,
At the end of the day, I mean,
Elements.
there's something they could probably attach to it to just make it less industrial, you know?
okay.
Something that'll meet, like, you got,
Okay.
like,
but it's
for
also
instance,
setting up precedent. I mean, it's like,
well, you're gonna have another one over here, from what I understand, correct?
which one?
Another catwalk
That was
attached
Yeah.
over here.
The Linden.
Ah,
right.
Was that wasn't in the plans?
It's been brought up, it's been
They
brought
have
up.
not. They did
But it
not.
was a walkway, though. It was not on the second floor, it was on the first floor.
They didn't have any.
Yeah, I
Maybe-
don't think I remember, I don't remember that.
I thought they
Oh,
brought
I
up that they
know.
were gonna have an a way to get into the parking garage.
I thought it was a walkway. Last time they were here,
Mhm.
they were not concerned about, because they were doubling the parking spaces. So one condo got 2 spaces because they were gonna, one on top of the other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
I don't
did it
remember
here.
that.
It was
No,
awesome.
the last time they came through, they got rid of that. You're talking about the car lift and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're,
That was the last time they were here.
because last time they were here, that kind of I thought that got X'd when I was listening to them.
I don't think I missed that, because that.
That excited you.
Because that was,
That's a P word.
that was,
Everybody knows that,
that was
that
when they
parking
first
word.
came in. I don't think that's.
Okay, I'd like to, I'll look into that, because I think that
Yeah.
that's.
I think what they were discussing now is they want to do something similar to what the Confluence does and have
Oh.
a catwalk.
So I'd like to make the suggestion that, at one point I sort of said, well, bring them back now, what are they gonna do? But I think if we bring them back and we talk about that walkway, we should talk about what else has changed. Because my suspicion is, what if they come back again to build another?
Well, I just think the word gets around. It's like, okay, just do it because they're not going to pick it up,
Yes.
right?
A monetary penalty that's big enough to where if they did ignore it, it would be a problem, right?
So we have
Right.
no teeth. We
Well, the
really
thing
don't-
is, the fine's $300.
Well, that's what I mean. It's got to be.
I mean, you're talking.
It's like the
chump
people I
change.
know that come downtown.
but
and
it's more
get-
about
take
the,
tickets because they still
And
think
then
it's
the-
cheaper to
that
get
they're
tickets.
called into a
Things
meeting
wrong,
because
It
they
would have to
violate.
be.
Yeah.
It's $1,800.
You have confidence of the public, and you're trying to rent your building, and you're being brought in because you're not following the rules.
It's bad press.
It's bad press.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the idea of bringing them in and saying, let's talk about this walkway, but let's also say, we noticed that.
Right.
Yeah.
And answer to
He
us
picked
why
up
you
on
did
it.
that.
He saw
Why
that it
didn't you
wasn't
come to us?
a
Yes.
match.
And don't do it again.
Like in a formal.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know, you think JB, they're gonna wanna do another
CO.
development down here. If they can find a spot, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
And it
sure.
sends a message to future developers.
Well,
Especially
that's
the-
almost like the gentleman that was here just before. They've already put the stuff on there, but there's no citation or nothing for what he did.
We just said, we'll take it off. We just said, forget it. You know,
Like,
it's
we
too late.
can't fix it.
But they're, you know, if people are aware that there is a bit more substance around these mistakes or intentional things, I mean, maybe you'd be thinking a little bit more carefully.
And then,
about
and
what
then,
you're doing.
Here, did he have permits to do any of that work, or did they just like stuck?
I
over
was
without-
looking into it because I was checking the inspection report.
You mean the last one?
Last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at the inspection report, just the fire rated window assembly and everything.
Did they pick up
I mean,
the
the thing
rated
is,
windows?
you won't get approved for a permit until historic district approves it anyway, and there's not a permit.
Right, so they started work without a permit.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to give them a
Berry
stop work
Street
order.
here.
And then whether we approve changing the window or not, that's still a violation to have a
Yeah.
window non-wired within the 10 foot of fire escape.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's gonna
Yes.
show up on the
Well,
rental
you would-
inspection.
Well, no,
If the
I think
fine
that
was
they must have had wired windows in
they're
there.
gaining
Okay,
Because I was checking the inspection report and there's no note about
Okay.
fire rated windows.
okay.
And it was Rami, and I don't think he would miss something like that, you know?
Even that big window? Doesn't,
yeah, I don't think that big one,
The
I mean,
big
it
one-
could be laminated, it could be laminated glass,
Yeah.
but I don't know. That'd be an expensive piece of glass.
yeah.
But I can tell you just from past experience, where I've taken someone to court and requested a maximum fine, and the magistrate didn't give it to them, that they said they'd rather give them they'd rather have them put the money toward the repair.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh.
So, I mean, we could have the ordinance changed and make it a hefty fine, but if the magistrate doesn't want to give it to them, and wants to give them the benefit, we have no control over it. We went through the whole process, and then the judge makes a decision.
You know, I was,
Not to mention the appeals too.
Right.
If you do win a judgment, then we can go to county then, and then it's
right,
the whole.
I mean, I was consultant for Allentown for a while, and Allentown was issuing stop orders and violations and taking them to the magistrate, and the magistrate hardly ever supported it,
Oh, my God.
ever. And the city just couldn't afford it to keep doing it.
Or the
the-
manpower, and the time it takes.
Manpower.
You know,
Manpower,
takes
yeah.
20 minutes to write out a citation, just one. You know,
I mean,
and then you got to
Allentown,
file it.
Well,
one reason I'm not consulting there is because it was a pain.
it sounds
And,
like
and,
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
at least there's a few interesting projects here. Allentown was all violations, every single one of them.
Ugh, sounds awful.
Was not fun.
Well,
So, yeah, I think we asked them to come back, you know,
And we-
they.
And we started a dialogue here about how to deal with this that maybe gets around. I don't know. I mean,
I honestly think it's just an oversight. You know,
was also, they have to make decisions quickly sometimes, but
but then once again, with us having a third party, that's where, because an inspector had eyes on it.
But the fact that they told you they were coming to us and they never contacted anybody.
Well, they said they're going to contact HGC, but there's been no contact. Because I keep talking to the GC about it for the last couple of weeks now, and I keep saying, "Where is this at? I don't see it." And that's when I decided to send an email to Chris.
So the substructure might be able to remain, they just might have to dress it up in some fashion.
maybe, or maybe
or
when we look
resubmit-
at it, maybe
resubmit
we'll
it with
find that
something
it's acceptable based on the, the parking deck design. I don't know, we'd have to really look at it.
Like if they even matched it to where the parking garage is, like the grills they put up, something like that, rather than just a chain link,
Yeah, it's like we want to look at it.
Okay.
I have to go see that.
So we're gonna send them a letter to come to the next meeting?
Well,
Well, no, I'm gonna send him a violation
He
notice.
needs to send a violation first.
And then they can't get people in. They don't get their CO.
What's that?
They don't get their CO for,
They have a temporary CO. They're just not gonna get a CO. So,
Okay.
because they were already getting temp COs before that was even erected, because they started with lower floors first.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, thanks,
Thank you,
Jimmy.
James.
Yep.
Other violations. The only one I wanted to mention was we had approved a sign for a bike shop a couple of months ago.
Yep.
And
I remember.
the sign is not, I don't believe it was installed to what we approved. Do you remember the bike shop, Christine?
I do.
That's the one on Northampton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and right, and he had sort of two different signs and he was gonna make
So
the,
here's the
It's falling
sign.
off already.
He's got this wavy, flaggy, and these
that
little.
looks like temporary. That
That's what I
doesn't look
thought.
like real
It looks
sign.
like a temporary sign, but
I
it's
thought it was.
now, it's now framed out.
Is it,
It's just, that's weird.
but that's the way it came to us. The photo when,
Well, no, not the material though. The sign, the text is okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
The
text,
font, but it's the material
No, it's vinyl.
Which they're also allowed to put up.
for a short while.
temporary
Yeah, but-
sign?
that was the temporary sign shown to us.
Right.
That was the before, the after was what he showed us.
So if this is the
And we
temporary
like-
sign, how long does temporary sign can stay temporary? Can it stay for?
90 days? I don't
So
know.
the 90 days are up.
I'll
Oh.
look into.
Okay.
So is,
Cause it's
not
just
90
it's just a fabric.
It's not
Vinyl.
90 days,
Yeah.
Clay. It's not 90 days.
you can keep a temporary sign longer than 90?
No, but he hasn't had it up for 90 days.
Oh, he hasn't.
No. No.
Okay.
Six,
So he might have gotten it up there so he could open
yeah,
and is waiting.
which many people do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn, please.
Any public comments?
Thank you again. Just to follow up, when I was here last month, introducing Preservation Easton, and one of the things I mentioned, and I've subsequently talked to Christine about, is what was just discussed here with projects being changed and never coming back to this board. I've got a whole series of documents about the changes to the marquee that happened after this board approved it, and they're extensive. So this is something that our organization is intending to work with City Council. We've already begun working with City Council about seeing, both from a legislative and from an enforcement point of view, if there can be more procedures that are put in place to allow this board to have the kind of oversight that you were just talking about, because it does happen all the time. And I think what the gentleman wants to do, issuing a citation, as Christine said, I think setting that precedent is really, really important. That, you know, there will be another gigantic building coming up over here, and changes are almost inevitable. I haven't documented, and I'm not sure I have the information to document all of the changes on the confluence, but just the enormous changes from when it was first proposed and awarded to the developer. Something similar is happening outside your jurisdiction, but with Easton Iron and Metal. That project is now a totally different project than what was approved when the city awarded that piece of land to the developer. So this is an issue. I'd just like to thank you all for supporting this gentleman in issuing a violation, and that's the kind of thing that I hope we can discuss and maybe get some changes made going forward, because it's a really critical part of what this board does, to be able to actually get things built the way you approve them. So, thank you.
Great, Paul. Thank you.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I will make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye. And code $595, 34, 30 days for a temporary sign.
30?
Zoning code, yeah, but I'm making sure that,
Oh, it's been way over 30.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I've seen many people not do.
Yeah, bike shop on
Yeah,
Northampton
I've
Street.
seen many temporary signs way beyond 30 days.
Yeah, so their temporary sign is expired.
Yeah, it's just like a vinyl fabric hanging. I mean, the font and everything else is fine.
Yes.
But it's not a proper material for a sign.
Probably doesn't have the funds probably to do it yet. But there are many.
Thank you.
There are many small businesses that have had their signs up more than 30 days before they got their going. And we haven't done anything about that. Not saying we shouldn't in the future, but we haven't in the past.
Progress photo.
Is it raining? Can you tell?
Elevator pits are going in.
Marty, I'll let you know when these guys contact me about getting a look at the buckets.
Yeah, just give me a couple days, I'll have to move the other anything.
This week's time.
No worries, yeah, okay.
But yes, as long as notice as I can, I'll get the.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll reach out.
You know what I mean?
Just text them wrong number. We're gonna be able. Dude, sorry, dude. Wrong number. Huh? 4 years old, married.